Hey everybody, this is Chase Batiche. I am here with a witchy bitch femme-powered astrology update. Nico and I are here to give you some new moon insights. Nico wanted to make an appearance for the video this week, so he says hello. So this week we have the new moon in Aquarius, and I wanted to talk about that because we are so close on the edge of this emergent Saturn-Pluto conjunction energy, and we have this beautiful opportunity on the 24th to really create some new intentions for ourselves for this upcoming new cycle. So a new moon is actually when the sun and the moon are exactly on top of each other, and that's why there's no reflection from the sun. So it's a beautiful time. Literally, I've worked on farms. I worked on a lot of farms when I was younger, and that is when farmers plant seeds, literal seeds in the earth, and it's the perfect time for us to plant seeds, our own seeds of intention for whatever it is that we want to specifically work on. And we may as well use the energy of the cosmos to use the energy of Aquarius and whatever that means for us in our own lives towards this intention energy. So I want to talk about Aquarius a little bit and how maybe this energy may or may not be expressed in your life. So Aquarius is the energy of, it's the water bearer. Its glyph is actually a woman pouring water, which is really paradoxical because it's an air sign. And so why would the woman be pouring water? Well, Aquarius actually is the sign of high cosmic connection to high levels of universal energy and visionary cosmic electric energy coming through the individual and being poured out into humanity. An amazing example of an Aquarius rising or an Aquarian is David Bowie. He was Aquarius rising. He was a Capricorn workaholic with Aquarius rising. So he had that visionary, out of this world energy that really revolutionized music. It revolutionized rhythm. He kind of reset our entire rhythm on this planet. And another great Aquarian energy would be Oprah Winfrey. She's an Aquarian. Aquarians actually, they're a fixed air sign, but they are known to be those that are most connected to the ethers and want to assist and evolve humanity forward. They really care about the collective consciousness, the state of humanity. And it's funny because they are born in the coldest time of the year, and so a lot of Aquarians, they're not really they can be seen as kind of aloof, but that is because they are so independent. They are so ahead of the fray. They are visionary. They are eccentric. They are weird. They are the inventors of the zodiac. They are people that are so outside of the mainstream mass consciousness and are really here to evolve and move the energies of humanity towards something greater, something more united. Oprah Winfrey is a perfect example of this, right? So they are the futurists. They are the people that are bringing a new kind of information, a new kind of consciousness down into our worldly, earthly realm. So that mixed with taking that energy and beginning to ask yourself some pivotal questions, because the thing about your Aquarians is that they're highly original. And they have absolutely no problem being very authentic. Very authentic. They do not really give a shit about what anybody thinks about them because they're so disconnected from the masses, and that's how they are kind of evolving the consciousness. If David Bowie really cared about what people thought about him, he would not have created the Man from Mars, right? I mean, he is the perfect example of taking this cosmic energy and bringing it down and sharing it with the masses, okay? So you can ask yourself for this new moon, begin to contemplate this question, some questions. One of the questions what you could really ask yourself is, how do you maybe in your life allow other people's perceptions of you to hold you back? And where in your own life are you able to express your highest truth and authenticity? Where are you maybe holding yourself back from really being able to express that authenticity, because a lot of times the truth of our true authentic selves is really weird because it doesn't fit in, right? And most of us, because we've been trained in this paradigm to believe that being weird is being bad. I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably not somebody who thinks that. I don't think that. I love weirdness. I am weird. I'm a freaking weirdo. But it's still ingrained somewhere in our consciousness, right? Which is being an outsider is bad, and we kind of shut that part of ourselves off. The point that we're at in human history right now, this is not the time to do that. Using this new moon on the edge of the Saturn-Pluto conjunction can really begin to take this energy of originality, authenticity, futurism, visionary, starting to think for a grander, larger picture for yourself and for humanity on the whole. Because the more original and truthful and wild we allow ourselves to be, the more we are putting that energy out into the universe, and we're affecting the whole of humanity instead of putting ourselves in the box in order to fit in, which just maintains the status quo. And that's not really where we're at anymore on this planet. The status quo is changing, the boat is rocked, and it's time for us all to start stepping into our Aquarian weirdness a little bit more. Another question you could ask yourself is, where are you feeling stuck, outdated, stagnant in your life? Where are you feeling like some Aquarian wildness, weirdness might be able to shake you out of whatever it is that the rut that you may have been inside of? So Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is the planet, it's called the Great Awakener. It's, a lot of people like to say Uranus. I mean, it's weird itself. Its name itself is weird. I mean, who named it Uranus? What scientist was like, Uranus, that's the name of this planet? Because it's weird. It's a super weird, wild planet. And it's called the Great Awakener because it rules electricity, radical change, psychic insight. It rules this kind of, if any of you do the tarot, it's kind of affiliated with the Tower. This kind of lightning bolt of electric energy that kind of shakes us awake and puts us on our path. But a lot of times, if we are not fully in tune with our own truth and the truth of how our soul is actually evolving, this intense kind of awakening can really rattle us. So the deeper we can go into ourselves and creating a deeper spiritual practice to align with these energies of Uranus, the energies of electricity, awakening, rebellion, unpredictability, the more that we can kind of open ourselves up to, because what these energies do, this rebellious, crazy awakening energy, is it awakens us to our truth. And essentially, the word for Aquarius and Uranus is freedom. Freedom. So ask yourself in your life, where am I still feeling constricted? Where do I feel bound? Where do I feel imprisoned where am I imprisoning myself in my own consciousness, right? These are the questions that you can begin to ask yourself. And the more that we can really align with our truth and what we feel is right, no matter how weird, outside of the box, outside of the fray it is, the more free we become. Really, essentially, we feel imprisoned when we are bound by the expectations of society, and when we've internalized those expectations to live a life that isn't true to ourselves. So the more that we can kind of tune into this Aquarian Uranian energy and allow its power to come in and kind of shift our world a little bit, we can make this intention for the new moon and begin to focus on this daily, right? So what's interesting also about this new moon is that Uranus, the planet that I just explained, that is the planet that is affiliated with Aquarius, is actually squaring the new moon. A square is in a chart is generally means a tension aspect. And a lot of people say, oh, squares are bad, they're the red lines on the chart. No, squares are where we evolve. Squares are where the pressure builds and where we shift our consciousness, where something changes, where something emerges, where something births and something dies. Squares give us an opportunity to let go of the pressure and shift into something new. So we have the Uranus energy, okay, kind of squaring this new moon. So it's kind of this internalized pressure of like, where in my life am I really not holding to my authentic truth? What do I need to align with in a deeper way to feel more at peace, to feel more in the flow, to feel more aligned, to feel more true to myself? Because it's not about anybody else. It's about our connection to ourselves, the divine, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, so that we can ultimately live the life that feels most true, and we will inspire others to do the same, so that we can kind of break this paradigm that is soul crushing, where humans are just taught to go, do, without tuning into their own truth, without tuning into their own internal guidance. So this squaring on the new moon, so we have this new moon energy that is like, okay, plant the seed of Aquarian freedom, visionary, eccentric, original, wild energy, outside of the fray, artistic, futurist. Where in our lives can we begin to embrace this energy? I would encourage you all to do some journaling and really ask yourself, where can I begin to embrace this energy in my life? Where have I been holding myself back from really opening up to the full potential of my own visionary energy? And then that square, so you're probably going to feel an internal discomfort of having to face that truth, of having to face that, where in my life am I not fully opening up to my own radical change, the radical change that my soul is calling me towards. Begin to ask yourself these questions, sit with it. And I would encourage you all to do a little ritual for yourself on the new moon. Sit somewhere, light a candle in the evening, write out some of these intentions, some of these questions. How can I begin to embrace this Aquarian freedom, visionary, weird, outlandish energy in my life? Where is my soul really seeking it? And begin to set an intention for the next 28-day cycle. We have an entire lunar cycle where we're going to hit a peak of a new full moon. It goes from new to full. On that full moon, we can really begin to open up to this energy, to begin to allow it to fill us, to let it's the light of the moon. The moon is the undercurrent. It is how we feel deeper, on the deeper, subtle, minute layers of the deep subconscious, where we ourselves are not even fully aware of. But what we're doing is we're bringing light to our own moon energy, and we're starting to say, okay, I want to illuminate this part of myself so that I can begin to be, my expression in the world can become more authentic, original, and true. So these would be my thoughts for you on this Aquarius new moon. So many blessings to you. This is such an exciting time to be alive, and yes, much love.